What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Banter Zone. I'm here with
What's happening, Terry? And this is
Simon. We're here at beautiful Brewhouse in the north end of Calgary after the Calgary FC game that just wrapped up. Here to come down here, so thank you to the Brewhouse for giving us a spot. Sit here, enjoy a drink. Just getting over sickness. Been kind of out of it for the last 5 days. I haven't been to a Calgary game. The last two I've missed. So Harry's been holding down the fort with Dylan and my brother, Sebastian. So lots going on, and we've been kind of...
You know what? It's been a few weeks since we've actually reached out to you guys. Number one, I do want to say thank you to every single one of you guys out there that are supporting us. We've hit over 1,000 views.
Yeah, 1,000 subscribers.
I can't even speak properly. I'm so excited. Woo!
Yeah. So thank you so much for
honestly,
that.
yeah. Thank you for joining the CFN family. Thank you for all the feedback.
Yeah.
It's been great. But this show is packed, and we're going to try to get through this as fast as possible, as easy as possible. And honestly, once again, hit subscribe, like, share, and comment below.
Yeah, let us know what your thoughts are and everything. Is there anything you guys want added? Whatever you guys want to hear us talk about more, let us know. But now we're about a month into the CPL. Not to say the novelty's worn off, because it hasn't.
No, he's far from being worn off.
But now it's like, okay, we're in it. It's going. It's happening. Now the only thing left is time to criticize the quality, or talk good about the quality, because
and this is my expertise. If you don't know me already.
So
honestly, I know we touched back on this about a month ago, if not a little bit longer ago. We were talking about standings, where we see some of these teams are going to be, and honestly, we have facts after 4 weeks of play.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I'm a Calgary supporter, and I said they were going to be good from the beginning. Harry predicted Pacific to be at the top, and then Dylan also predicted Pacific to be at the top. York was slated to be the top team.
York was slated to be up there in the top 3 or 4 all day, every day. But
and as it sits right now,
let's hit it up.
So top of the table, the lads from Calgary, our Cavalry boys, sitting at the top, 6 straight wins. As it sits right now, doesn't look like anybody's going to beat them.
No, nobody's going to touch them right now.
Like, it looks like they're a couple games away from locking down the spring season. Like, there's...
The only way that anything is going to fluctuate right now is the number 2 team, Forge. Okay? If Calgary goes through a bad spell of injuries, well, guess what? You're going to see a little bit of rankings change here. But honestly, I don't see the Cavs making any kind of big injuries. Knock on wood for them. Not saying I support the Cavs, but hey, good on you. You're number 1 in the table.
Yeah, Forge sitting second. They played more games. They played 5 games in the league. They haven't played any Canadian Championship games because they're in the second round already, just based off the logistics of all that junk. The FC Edmonton and Valor were already getting a bye, blah, blah, blah.
Love how you just dropping junk and now blah, blah, blah.
It was junk and blah, blah, blah. Because there was really no reason that those 3 teams, just because they were registered first, Cavalry registered like a month later, but those 3 teams got a bye into the second round.
We all know it doesn't matter what sport you play in Canada. If you're from the East Coast, you get everything you want.
Point made. Toronto rules the world.
And go back on the checkerboard. I'll take another one for agreeing with me.
Yeah. I know, we need just to get like a run-in tally now. This is like the 8th. No, that's too much. 6th.
Hey, I'll take any win.
I think it's the 6th time I've agreed.
I'll take any win,
Harry.
anyway, right now.
And now it's funny because there's been times where Harry's made predictions at Cavs games, and to be honest, like we know people watch our show, but the amount of people that were busting your balls at that game after your prediction that Calgary was going to get pumped on opening day, oh my God.
All I have to say is thank you for the support.
Yeah, exactly. Players on the field, walking up the field is like, oh yeah, so where's the pumping?
You know what? That's a conversation for a different time. But I have been torn apart, and even today, which I'll touch base with later on, I got torn apart again today.
Valor sitting 3rd place, 2 wins, 3 losses. So really, the table points-wise, Cavalry with 12 points, 4 straight wins in the league. Forge 7, the closest. So 5-point gap already between first and second. Like, 10 games in the beginning of the season, Calgary gets another 2-3 wins, it's over.
As I said, if the injuries do start playing a role in this, we're going to see the Cavs drop a little bit. I can't say drop, but you will see other teams like Forge start stepping up.
Yeah. Well, if they can stop getting cards, but we'll get there.
We'll get there after.
Harry's team sitting in 4th, Pacific.
1 win, 2 losses, 2 draws.
It looks like they're just having trouble scoring goals, man.
You know what? I know I shouldn't take a hit at him, but I can take a hit at him. Because I was just at a game today, and this gentleman decided to put another goal in on his own net. Thank you, Haber. Like, I don't know where anybody is expecting me to go with this. Yes, I did predict Pacific. But the quality and seeing those two big injuries have really set us back. You know, and then another setback, as I said, watching Haber put another goal in for the opposing team.
He's having, that's his second one, I think, this year he's done.
You know, I don't want to get controversial. I know we're talking about the table right now. We're talking about the standings. Yeah. But in your eyes, is he a bust? Is he a player that we paid way too much for? And is it going to be a bust this season?
Yeah, because if we're not with something, we may have heard that he may be the highest paid player in the league right now. And 5 games in, 1 goal, and then add in the two. I
need to sip after this conversation.
That's 7 games in, 1 goal, and he's your highest paid player. I would say
3 now.
Sorry,
because he scored 1 today.
Yeah. Oh, did he score? I missed the last. I didn't see it today.
He also scored 1 on his own net. But hey, let's get off this topic. Let's go
so
down.
2 goals, 7 games, starting to hit that. Anyways,
drop your comments.
Yeah. What do you think? Is Haber gonna pull out and actually be the man he's supposed to be, or is he actually going to be a bust like everybody a lot of people were kind of predicting it to happen that way, unfortunately.
5th place, we're looking at FC Edmonton.
The Eddies. All we got to say about the Eddies is
I'll give them that.
Class.
Your fans do you justice. I just want to say that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you guys aren't out there playing. But without that support behind you, you have no idea. Not only you guys, maybe you do have an idea, but the rest of the league has no idea what the Eddies do for Edmonton. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm a Calgary guy. I'm not wanting to get into this Battle of Alberta, but honestly, nobody understands the Edmonton FC or FC Edmonton fans.
Yeah, like the River Valley Vanguard, all those guys over there, they've been established for a while. They're probably the oldest supporters group. They've been doing this for a while. So good group of guys. We had the pleasure of spending some time with them, but we'll get into that a bit more. They've only played 3 games as opposed to 5 or 4 like Calgary.
Correct.
But 1 win, 1 loss, 1 draw. So not a bad start. Trying to find their feet as well.
3 games as well. So you know what? There's plenty of opportunity for them to get back into this table and get back into this rush. So
yeah, and then we got the Wanderers.
Yeah, we've already said the Wanderers are going to be at the bottom of the pool. I can't say we already knew that because that was a prediction prior to
blind prediction.
But as we can see, we're pretty close. Let's jump into number 7 because this is a kick in the sack.
I didn't nice. Well put. I did not expect this to be there, to be honest.
York 9 being at the bottom of the table, nobody expected this. Nobody expected it. We expected if you're looking at York 9, you'd be sitting in 2nd, 3rd. Okay, that's exactly the way that I felt it was going to be.
Yeah. But they had some troubles in the championships. They drew in the first game against AS Blainville, and then they ended up squeezing a goal out today to win it. So.
But once again, they've only played 3 games.
Yeah, and then they've got 2 Canadian Championship games on top of that as well. But goal leaders right now in the league, obviously real early, not even a month in. But they got Novak and Brown. And,
Novak, Brown.
3 Forge players and 1 Cavalry player, all tied with 2 goals each. So Forge showing their firepower.
And honestly, Jordan Brown, class act.
Unreal, man. He's quality. Like, do you know what the bad thing is about him? And this is something that you mentioned. I'm just going to steal it from you. But that's the problem, isn't it? And it's going to start, we're going to see it. Jordan Brown is good, and he's showing his colors. So, what are we going to do next year? Because he's gone.
It's not what are we going to do. What's Jordan Brown going to do next year? He's going to pack up. He's going to leave Calgary.
Going back. Yeah, obviously, that's what this league was kind of designed for, to be a bit of a stepping stone in order to start. That's what it was going to be. So, Jordan Brown, 2 goals, class, quality, always creating chances, always a pain in the defense's ass. Yep. So good. Cadell Thomas, Tristan Borges, and Novak, again, tied with 2.
But we knew Thomas was going to be a power player as well.
Cadell Thomas, we talked about Cadell Thomas from the beginning as well. Big boy, power. And then a bunch of people with 1 goal. But Escalante took a bit of a knock a while back from Calgary. Haber with 1 goal in league play. And then 1 goal in Canadian Championship, like we said. Excuse me.
Canadian Championship as well, but at the same time.
Yeah. One guy who's kind of been a bit of a surprise
quiet surprise?
Nico Pasquale from Calgary. Nobody really expected him. Like he's Nico from Lethbridge University. But he did it in.
But that's like saying Gramps. It's only Gramps from Lethbridge.
No, but he played Lethbridge University. Nick had a professional career for 15 years.
He was just that better. He was that much better, so he walked away with that.
Well, no, 10 years. There's an age gap, dude. Like Nico's 22 years old or 24 years old.
So I'm his favorite
Grandpa's
player,
30.
Nico Pasquale.
No, not at all. Actually, not my favorite player.
But yeah, it's definitely a good mix right now of different players. 2 goals, 1 goal. We're going to see a lot coming up as well. So
assists. I mean, really, nothing too crazy with assists.
no. What do we got here? Shots on net. Okay, this gentleman once again trying to tear right into him. Let's go, Haber. What the are you doing, man? Like, honestly,
What's that percentage? 14 shots?
14 shots, officially 2 goals now.
No, but this is only Premier. This is only CPL,
sorry.
so that's one.
Sorry, I'm talking. Yeah, sorry. I'm talking
One goal on 14
14
shots.
shots.
That percentage would be like 14.
0.14.
Yeah, like 14% really. Like it's less than 10% really.
Embarrassing.
1 shot and 4.
Embarrassing. There's no excuse. Last time and I'm sorry, Haber, and I'm sorry to every other fan out there that is a Haber fan, but I am so sorry for picking on you because I know you sat out for 2 games because of your injury. Okay, there was different things out there. Your thumb, your toe, your elbow. Come on, get out of here.
Did he get turf toe? Is that what he had?
Oh, come on.
I don't know. It was toe though. I think it was something with his foot. It was like a toe.
Might as well just be Neymar and roll down the grass. All right.
Whoa,
I'm going that far with Haber.
That's a little-
Number 1, and from my understanding, highest player right now in the CPL, and you're not doing anything. I'm sorry for coming off harsh. Okay, it's been a long day.
But yeah, you can't really argue that fact. He's not. Another one that really hasn't. He's gotten his chances, but hasn't been able to. He's missed a couple of sitters at times. Dominic Malonga for Calgary. He's missed a couple. Just kind of expected a little bit more, but again, early. So
It's still really
Don't really
early.
know.
We knew he was like a last-minute signing as well, so coming in to
Yeah.
play for the Cavs, we knew it was going to be a tough one. Cards. We're going to touch on this real simple and easy. You know, we got Valor, 2 Valor players sitting at the top. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players all tied with 2 cards.
so 2 yellow cards, yeah. So
But
quite a
Valor's
bit.
leading this whole list. If you got 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 in the top 10.
So think about that. We've seen some cards, we've seen some nasty plays, but
There's been some nasty ones, like some of the red cards that have gone on have been pretty gross. But we'll get into that a little bit because there's been a couple reds and there's been some suspensions that have happened. But no surprise from the keepers. I don't think there's been a surprise, really.
there's no surprise. I believe so. We're going off the CPL side here. York 9. So their goaltender is actually listed as number 1 keeper for making the most saves, which is Ingham. Okay.
Yeah, Nate Ingham he's had his hands full, man.
Honestly, without that 1 win and without those 2 draws, you must give that game to Ingham.
Yeah.
All 3 games.
Yeah,
without that goaltender, like think about it, 14 shots.
Yeah, and those are big. He's made big saves too. They weren't like just little Koreans off. No, like he's made some big saves. No surprise, number 2,
Marco Carducci.
Il Duce. Marco Carducci with 10 saves, just class. Couple clean sheets for him. And then Mark Village at Pacific, but he's getting a lot of work. Like you said, he was going to get peppered, and he's starting to see him.
Yeah, and we're not even there yet.
Yeah.
He's got another 5 games, and then he's going to see what he's actually made of in the end.
Add the 2 Canadian Championship games that
Yeah.
he's played, right? And he's conceded 4. And then how many shots did he face today?
I don't even want to get there today. I don't even want to start that one. But
And then Williams from Wanderers.
from Wanderers, Valor, we got
Tyson
Figueroa. And then
I kind of felt bad for Fargo when they were here, and we were sitting behind them, the supporters. Man, they were giving it to him hard. Like,
yeah, but whenever there's no goalkeeper in this league, okay, we visited a few cities already. The
we
keepers.
don't need to talk about that one in Edmonton.
Okay, let's not. But
Because that one was.
the keepers have a hard job. Like in this sport, especially when you got the hooligans sitting right behind you, you know you're gonna sit there and sorry, you're not gonna sit there. You're gonna stand there and you're gonna try to block that out. But there are times you can't.
Yeah, because they go so hard.
All right. Let's get
So
off
the
that.
first round of the Canadian Championship is all wrapped up and done. But you know what? We're going to tee up something a little different because we always the perspective from the soccer fans, and Canada's never been known as a soccer country. So we're going to change it up a little bit here.
So as Simon was saying there, we want to look at a different perspective. So a fan that is Canadian, Albertan, never played soccer, but you know what?
Well, he's played, but like co-ed and stuff. White played, so he's been exposed to the sport. But Kyle Steining, thank you for joining us. One of our boys, diehard hockey, made his way through the ranks a little bit himself. Kind of been there, done it, seen it, everything but the NHL or anything at that level, but played it. Living in a country, being a small town Alberta boy, this league. What is it kind of, from your perspective as a hockey player, what is it kind of league it's like?
It's actually really surprising. My wife has a background in soccer, so I've been privy to see that. My soccer knowledge is indoor soccer, so obviously it's really pretty
Indoor
much hockey,
soccer.
but indoor, right? So obviously a 5-on-5, but getting to watch it and getting to experience, the growth of the game and watching the CPL come to life and the Cavs come to town and then the El Clasico, it's something that any sports fan truly enjoys. The passion that every fan base has, I honestly am jealous. Growing up playing hockey, I would love for people to be banging drums and going crazy, and you look at any player that's played in Europe and they love that. And I'm so excited to see that here in Calgary, to see that here in Canada. It makes it for an exciting new adventure, and it brings a smile to your face, because as a true sports fan, it's something you can get behind. As a Calgarian, yeah, of course, I love the El Clasico. I want Calgary to win at everything. It doesn't matter if it's knitting, crochet, footy, hockey, lacrosse.
I have a quick question for you. Okay, so watching hockey, Battle of Alberta, Calgary versus Edmonton, you look at that culture. Okay, you might have experienced a little bit of this Calgary versus Edmonton culture for soccer, so like the Calgary Edmonton or the Alberta Derby. Okay, what do you think on the side of the hockey culture they can bring into the side of soccer?
That's a really good question, actually, Harry. I didn't expect that from you. To be honest, I actually don't know the answer to that question, because I'm actually looking at it on the opposite side of being the envy of what soccer and footy brings to the table. I watch those videos in Europe and watching the goalie clapping on the nets and watching the crowds go insane. So to answer that question, I actually don't know. Maybe put it on ice.
You know what? There's an idea.
I don't know. Other than that, there's you can't really capture. There's lightning in a bottle that's happening in Alberta, and it's amazing, and across the country too.
Okay, so let me ask you another question then. Battle of Alberta, what does that mean? Doesn't matter. Well, I'm not talking about hockey, I'm talking about soccer. What does the Battle of Alberta
Calgary always wins.
do for any culture, for this soccer culture? Like, what is that going to bring in?
The battle means camaraderie more than anything, actually. The first word is battle, which is a war, which, you can relate to any sport. But the beauty part about sport is, at the end of the day, you shake hands and it's over. And, to watch both cities support their team, that's what it's all about. And to have that community sense, I don't think you can replace that. That really, you get that pride of your town, your team. No matter what, you could be at the bottom of the table, you could be at the top of the table. You got your boys, or your team. And
you know what? That's a great point you just made. Like, being at the top of the table, being at the bottom of the table, it doesn't matter. It all just
kind of does.
Well, but it does come down to that end of the sport, and it comes down to,
we could be last place, but as long as we beat you, we don't care.
Exactly.
We don't care.
And that's the Battle of Alberta with the Flames and the Oilers. Doesn't matter who's where. You just don't lose to the Oilers.
And that's one thing I just saw in hockey, and it was cool because right now the World Championship is going on.
Oh,
and
I'm
Patty
loving
Kane
that.
was getting interviewed,
Yeah.
and the UK fans are sitting there screaming, "Who are you?
That-
Who are you?" And Patty Kane starts laughing. He's like, "I don't know what they're chirping me about, but they're chirping me."
And-
it's hilarious because
Yeah.
they're awesome.
That actually, I have to say, Great Britain has taken the World Hockey Championships by storm.
Did you say
Kinda-
Spice Girls?
Sorry, what? No, not the Spice Girls. Sorry. Close. But no, it's just they bring that energy. They're actually right now they're bringing footy to hockey, and they're chanting and they're excited and you know that's the European way, and I love it. I'm actually loving it, and the fact that the story you're talking about, Great Britain wasn't even playing. Their fans were just there to just harass.
didn't
And
know they
I
were
love
playing
that.
that.
I love that. That's amazing. Well, as far as I know, they weren't. Because
Yeah.
all it was a clip of Patrick
Yeah, it was just
Kane
Patty
getting
Kane.
chirped by Britain fans. It was like, that's amazing.
He doesn't even know what
Yeah,
they're chirping
yeah,
about, but he
good
laughs
for him.
anyway.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of sport, and I think that's the answer to your previous question.
Yeah, and that's I think something that I've always kind of missed in the sport because growing up in Chile and watching games there, and the madness because you go to the stadium and you just forget about life, and that's really what to me football's always been is you forget about life, you forget about all the other things that are going on, and all you do is focus on that. So you screaming and chanting and just it brings that level. And hockey has the same, but it's a lot more of a tame.
Oh, it's much more to watch.
Can you imagine if they had a section behind the net?
Oh.
It was just a bunch of rowdies that drunk, screaming
I
and
would be
drinking
there.
beer.
I would be there.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that'd be incredible. I would be there too. I'd be taking
I'm pretty
over.
sure
that.
they kicked us out though once for that. So I
Yeah,
don't
see?
know.
Unacceptable
Yeah.
NHL. You guys got to sort it out.
Whatever. Yeah. Put the NHL on Boston.
Yeah, we'll get on them. Yeah, really, I mean, it's good to hear that perspective from an outsider, from somebody who's really never had any reason other than, obviously since married now and having a child. So congrats for that. And your child is probably going to play
Oh, I
soccer.
hope so.
I hope so too.
If she's got any pedigree of her mom, we're okay. She's
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Daughter's going
Well,
to be
you know
a
what?
kicker playing football, Canadian
Remember
or
who led our
American.
indoor team in goal scoring? The hockey guy.
Not Harry.
That's definitely not Harry. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, really, it's
It's awesome just to hear a different perspective out of everything, right?
yeah.
Thanks for having me, boys. Appreciate it.
Anything else you want to add in?
Harry sucks.
Thank you for the support once again. I get that a lot.
So yeah, well,
Well, on that note, you know what? What we're going to do is we're going to switch over to Dylan, do the Bundesliga report. When you get when I guess you guys get back, we got more for you.
Guten Tag, mein Freunds, and welcome to the final Bundesliga reports of the 2018-19 campaign. The season has wrapped up, and unfortunately, as many of you already know, the result was not in favor of my Borussia Dortmund. But I can't complain because, truthfully, this season was an absolute wash for us. We had a new coach. We had a bunch of new players. It was supposed to be a transition period, and luckily for us, it turned out to be the exact opposite. We were 9 points ahead of Bayern, and as much as people will rub it in our face that we blew it, we shouldn't have been in that position to even begin with. So for me, it is obviously disappointing. We won against Mönchengladbach, but of course, Bayern smashed Frankfurt. But they couldn't have done it without a little bit of tension. They make it 1-1 Frankfurt for like 4 minutes, and then Bayern comes back and just wipes the floor with them. So unfortunately, Bayern, they take it. But lots of hope on the horizon for those of you that are hoping for a bit of change in the Bundesliga. This is the first season of many where I think the title race will at least be closer, and I think that Bayern, if they aren't careful, will relinquish their title to perhaps Borussia Dortmund or other teams that are getting more ambitious. The level of parity in the league is beginning to become more and more apparent, and I'm thinking that with some of the signings that Dortmund has just made of Julian Brandt, Nico Schultz, and Thorgan Hazard, I think Dortmund really have a good chance to contend next season, and I think they've made a statement that they don't want to settle for second place anymore. They want to push Bayern, and if they can do that, and even not succeed next year and come second, but really push them again, I'll be happy with that. And I think the trajectory of the Bundesliga is less of Bayern domination. It's not going in the same direction as Serie A, where I don't think Juve's stopping anytime soon. It's not going in the direction of the Premier League, where I feel like Man City's got a grapple hold on it. I really do think that Bayern are going to relinquish it one year or another. And that's going to be a happy moment for all the casual fans, and a happy moment, I think, for myself personally, that's getting a bit tired of Bayern's dominance. But if you're a Bayern fan, fret not. You've won your 7th consecutive title. Congratulations. What a swan song for Frank Ribery and Ian Robben. But be aware, your celebrations may be short-lived, as next season will be coming for you. Back to you, Simon and Harry.
So like we said, Canadian Championships have been rolling like in full swing. Round 1 is done and over, completed. Eliminations have happened. Halifax, Vaughan, Missouri finished up on game 1 was 3-2 for Halifax. Surprise from Vaughan. Vaughan was a quality side. They showed quality.
I expected Vaughan to actually win that game. Nothing bad against Halifax, but I just expected a team that's that has been together for a little bit longer, a lot more finesse, you know.
And then run and gun, you know, like these guys are the big boys in town now. No, we've been here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna come at you, and they showed it.
Yeah, they proved it.
And then the other one was AS Blainville out of Quebec against York, and in there they held them to a scoreless draw, and that was again Blainville showed quality, class, man. It was great to see. Pacific and Cavalry. Cavalry won the first one in Pacific, 2-0. Harry not too happy about that one, obviously. And then on the second leg, Vaughan, Missouri won 1-0 in Halifax.
Another crazy win.
But Halifax advances through on the away goals from the first game, obviously, on the aggregate. So they go through on a 3-3. And then York 9 just squeezed it out like the 70-something minute. Scored a goal to knock out Blainville. But Blainville was at them. They were coming at him the whole time. And it was good.
No.
Cavalry Pacific 2-1 today. That was the second leg. So 4-1 on aggregate on that one. Round 2, we got Forge and Cavalry. And then we got Wanderers and Valor. And then York and FC Edmonton.
FC Edmonton, that's going to be their win. I'm telling you that now. I understand both teams are struggling. You know what? York 9 should have the upper hand on that, but I'm going to go Edmonton. Edmonton's got the heart, and they got the push, and they're going to get that win.
And that rolls off like not too far. June 4th is first game's June 4th, June 5th. So
2 weeks from now.
Coming right away. The next round after is when it really starts to matter because you got Ottawa Fury coming in, the Whitecaps. So whoever wins Forge and Cavalry,
Who cares about Ottawa Fury? Nobody does. I'll tell you one thing. I don't. I can't wait till they join the league next year.
Yeah. Oh, and 2 Quebec teams joining next year, supposedly?
That's a thought.
Sir Alex Bunbury talking about it. Had a boy, Alex. Alex Bunbury's top class. I love that guy.
Love
He's
it,
been so good,
it.
does too. But here's a little bit of, I guess we'll go over to a little bit on the sour side of the CPL.
You know what we're going to do here? We're going to give each other 1 minute. We'll say what's going on, and then 1 minute to rectify, or what's the word I'm looking for?
1 minute to interpret, or something like that. Yeah. So, game 1 in Forge, Cal Becker, ball was going out of bounds. Boom, elbow. Nothing was called in the game. Was reviewed. Ended up serving a 2-game suspension. Harry, your thoughts on
Honestly, one thing that these guys need to realize, and you know what, at the same time, no. You know what? One thing that all these players need to realize is you're actually in front of a camera these days. You're not playing on a field where you got guys holding their phones out anymore. You're actually the one front center in front of a camera. Be careful what you do. You know what? This suspension actually has set, in my eyes, the tone for the league.
Yeah.
You know, Kyle Becker didn't realize this was happening, or didn't realize that the camera was going to pick up on it. Well, the camera did.
It's right in front of it.
And now it explains to every other player out there, don't do that.
Yeah, and to build off of what Harry said, the league set a standard, and they're not putting up with dirty, malicious plays like that, and that was dirty and malicious. Not to say that Kyle Becker's a bad person, because he's not that type of player, and he's shown that in the past. But the emotions of the first day of launch, you can see that, where it would happen. I'm South American. We do stupid stuff all the time when we play, even rec, so I can't really criticize him all that much. But 2 games, fair suspension. We'll stay with Forge for the second one. Coach Bobby Smirniotis suspended 2 games after the loss. I believe it was against the Cavs. But apparently he got a red card. I read somewhere that he got 2 red cards. But this is from one of the writers. But he said 2 red cards on Sunday's loss. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he must have said something to the referees maybe. Or no idea. I haven't really heard too much about it. So if you've heard anything, by all means, let us know and add your comments. Fresh drinks just came, so that's why Harry got distracted and had to salute. And here's the other one we'll talk about. So Edmonton's Philip Lincor Joseph. We were at this game in Edmonton. I was in very good sight because I was on that corner. Just reach over and grab it.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna go. I'm not even let you finish what you're saying.
Let me explain the 2-footed tackle. It was a 50-50 ball. Straight red card.
Honestly, bad call. One of the worst calls I've seen. If anything, that was a yellow. A red, not deserved.
Yeah, and I was on the opposite side of the field where Harry was with the supporters, and the supporters were like, "What? Like that was a red card?"
You know, when you were younger, your mother threw a shoe at you for stupidity. I really wanted to throw my shoe at a ref for stupidity that game.
In my eyes, that one from my angle, and we saw it. I saw it really well. I did not think it warranted a red. I thought it warranted a yellow card as well. I did not think it. I think that one was a bit harsh, but he did go cleats up 2 feet, so I can see why they would have just said, you know what, we just need to maintain that standard. But 3-game suspension, harsh. I would have.
It was a yellow all day. Eddie's fans, I got your side on this.
Yeah, I would say I'm with you there. Yellow card too. I don't think anything that's bad. So might as well stay on this. So we had the pleasure and thank you for the hospitality, Edmonton FC Edmonton staff, supporters, everybody at Edmonton.
Players, everybody.
Absolute class of players, everybody. Absolute class there.
Clark Stadium's ugly, but you know what? The fans, the players, the team, the
Make it
staff,
pretty.
everybody make it up.
Yeah. We filmed their inaugural game. If you haven't seen that video, check it out on our YouTube channel. So go over and watch it if you haven't. So I sat down with some of the supporters, met with some Pacific guys. The coolest thing was this, Harry. We were just talking about there's gonna come. We start to run in. There's gonna come a time where we're gonna start to see people that recognize us a little bit more. Sure enough, we're walking down the street beside a pub, and we see a couple guys wearing Pacific jerseys, and they walk out, and all of a sudden one guy's like, "Harry!" And Harry's like, "What the?"
All these guys were awesome. They were class. All three.
Victoria
of them.
Mike, the guys from the Lakeside Boys, absolute class.
I want one of those scarves.
Lakeside Boys, you gonna hook us up with a scarf? We got from, we should get them from all the supporters. River Valley Vanguard, you guys should hook us up with one of your scarves because the Foot Soldiers hooked us up. So it's just only fair that Lakeside Boys
Throw it in.
hook us up because we'll put it on our wall and But it was great to meet up with those guys and sit with them. We had a chance to sit with them in the morning prior to game. Harry did all the talking there, so he could probably talk a little bit more about that experience. I was more high.
Honestly, I'll get into that later. But as of now, go watch that video. Watch it. It's worth your time. It's worth the 10, 12 minutes of your life.
And then we did, of course, El Clasico, the Battle of Alberta.
Hold on. Before we go any further, we were already talking about Edmonton. In no way, Edmonton, I am knocking for this right now.
Pacifics.
Sorry, did I say Edmonton?
Yeah. So
Sorry.
when we were at the game, this guy storms out onto the bench. He walks out onto the bench, and we're like,
Who's that random?
Like jeans, white t-shirts,
I wish I had hair because it was a mess.
like just
Rolled out of bed.
after a night with Harry. Is that now I know where you were at. Harry disappeared randomly in the
Did
middle
I
of the
have
night.
bad hair that day?
Yeah, you did a little bit here. So
What?
so we can blame Harry. He took Coach Michael Silberbauer out for drinks because he looked like
Okay, if you guys have not seen Mike, in any game that he's at, or every game that of course he is working, but look at him on that bench. He looks like a man that you picked up downtown Edmonton, like Old Strathcona, threw in the back of your car and said, "Go coach this team."
not in his coaching style, but in the way that he was dressed. Because I got and there's been a lot of comments made about it, so it's not just our own opinion. Because that is a general consensus that Michael Silberbauer. I know he's giving Harry looks right now that he should not be saying these things. But he look at York's coach suit always. Everyone's pretty well. Tommy like Peaky Blinders, 3-piece suit all the time. It's kind of a different level. And then you see
Oscar the Grouch. Oh, sorry.
He kind of is always mad and angry too. Well, if I was, if I had the highest paid player on my team and wasn't scoring goals, I'd be dressing up like that too.
He probably has. That's probably why he got dressed up, because he paid somebody that can't even score to do something. All right, let's move on.
So before we're no longer invited to go to Pacific because of.
But I love you, Pacific. I called you guys to win today. Anyways, let's go on. Honestly, Battle of Alberta getting released
Friday,
the 24th, May 24th. Take a look at it if you haven't seen number 1 and 2. Calgary's inaugural, Edmonton's inaugural, and now Battle of Alberta. So take a peek back.
There's a big one, a bit of the rivalry back and forth. Some of the guys.
We're gonna end up on this. Okay, before we get into some local, I have one last question. This is gonna be a question I'm gonna ask you. You got a minute to answer this. Before the season kicked off, everybody talked about Tommy being the dark horse. What made his team successful?
I don't even need a minute.
And hold on,
Why are you so jumpy?
because I felt like you
I'm
had me.
gonna slap you.
But what? People
just
called him
gonna
the
come-
dark horse. People said that, this guy,
PDL players.
yeah,
so.
PDL players, this and that. But what do you think is fueling his success right now? And what do you think is going to be the demise of his team next season?
I don't see a demise because I've seen him build multiple teams over multiple years, and he has maintained success based on the fact that the way that he picks his teams and his players. He picks guys that work. That's it. I don't care if you were touted as one of the best players over there. You need to work and prove it. I don't give a shit who you are. You come, you prove it. I think that's it. He gets guys that are going to come out and work their asses off every time they set foot on the pitch. And if don't, you don't play. And then you're gone next year, and you'll find other guys that will do it. So I don't think we'll ever see Calgary have a massive fall off. They'll always be in the mix because of the way that Tommy selects in his tactics. The man knows the game very well, obviously. 6 games in, untouched.
I agree, disagree with you on that, okay? Cavs are having an amazing start to the season. We already know they're at 12 points. In no way I'm saying Tommy's a dark horse. Tommy's built this team. Tommy's done everything that every coach in this league wanted to do, but was unable to because Tommy is Tommy, okay? But at the same time, at the same token, what you see this year is not what you're going to see next season. A lot of these players that are playing right now, and I'm going to throw it out there, and I'm sorry for doing it, but Carducci, I know you're not going to be here next season. Carducci's going to be moving on. I'm looking at Mr. JB, Mr. Brown. He ain't going to be here next season either. So when we're looking at all of this, and I'm looking at the full shape of the Calgary for next season, they will be successful, but they will not be this successful. So all I have to say, you as Cavs fans, enjoy this first half of the season, enjoy the next half of the season. Next season, my prediction already, FC Edmonton.
To win the league. Well, I mean, their camaraderie is gonna come together. FC Edmonton is gonna be tough, but Tommy did it out of 4 years. He went to the championship twice with different squads, so I don't think the selection will be there. I think FC Edmonton is bound to look really, really good.
They're
over
going to break
time.
through. They will break through.
But really on the CPL note, that's really it. We got nothing else to talk about the CPL.
No.
That's about the last month of everything that's going on.
Let's hit local. Let's hit people local. Let's hit them fast.
So
Pay us up.
our people, Calgary Foothills. So we'll be doing the live streams again. We're covering Foothills. Calgary Foothills opens up their 2019 campaign. They opened it up, last weekend on the road. Game 1 in Seattle. Game 2 in Burnaby after TSS Rovers pumped Portland Timbers U23s 5-1. Then they lose 2-1 to
Typical
Foothills.
Portland style, though. We've seen Portland come out, not have the best start, but finish strong.
No, Portland got pumped 5-1.
That's what I mean. Portland.
But
always,
I know. Now I see where you're getting. Yeah,
right?
my
It's-
bad.
Portland always comes out. They always have a lackluster beginning, but they come out strong in the end.
Yeah. So Foothills won game 1 in Seattle 1-0, and then the Sunday they played in Burnaby 2-1. Goals from Danny Hayfield, Willie Akio, and Corey Bent. Massive performance from new keeper Ben Jackson. A couple late stops to save them and hold them in it. Now they come home and open up this weekend. Friday is the first game at Shoaldice Park. So if you're in and you want to see, these are the next up-and-coming players. If not, go to our YouTube page and check out the live stream. I might be doing some color commentary this year, so I apologize in advance for my shitty commentary. we'll get Harry in to do it, but for Harry to talk unscripted for 2 hours or for an hour and a half, there's just bound for something to
I've
come
met
up.
some really high people in many leagues. I think I've lasted about 2 minutes on every conversation. And I was like, "Ooh, butterfly!" So I'll be there for maybe a couple of minutes. Color commentary. Don't expect a lot.
Yeah. So they open up against TSS Rovers, both games Friday, Sunday, 7:30 on Friday, 2 o'clock on Sunday. So apologies, Kyle, that I won't be at your baby shower because I have to go live stream. I won't be there. Sorry. I'm getting stared at right now pretty bad. On the women's side of things, the Winners WFC, they head to Saskatchewan to open up their 2019 campaign against Queen City United in Regina, a team mostly made up of University of Regina players. So they look to be a decent side as well, but Coach Flannery does put up a good squad. And then they're home the following Sunday where they kick off their campaign at home. We'll be live streaming those again. The women's will be on mykuju.com and the men's will be on YouTube.
I was
Jesus.
about to say, like, it starts with a Y.
But really on that note, we're working on a couple things. We're going to start covering AMSL, but we'll get into that a little bit more in the future. This season is kicked off there and everybody seems to be rolling there, so hopefully come June we'll be rolling. But
Honestly,
really on that note, you got anything else?
Last thing I got to say is, once again, watch the Calgary inaugural, watch the Edmonton inaugural. They are both small, easy, like short docs. And then the 24th, a big one. We got a big one.
That is
Battle of
that is,
Alberta,
that's-
the Alberta
that's the
Derby, the Alberta Derby.
Everybody's already forgot about the 905 Derby.
Yeah.
What is that even?
Well, if York
Someone
9 did
out here-
anything, they would. But at the same time, all I want to say is thank you very much. Like, subscribe, share.
Comment. You guys want us to add? If you have any questions? If you guys think we're wrong with our predictions or think we're just nice guys, let us know. Thanks, Kyle. But on that note, I'm good.
All right, out. Thank you very much for 1,000 subscribers once again.